What's up, guys? Welcome to our second C-Stick episode. And this time we are shifting focus a little bit to Ultimate.
Yeah, I mean, how could you not, given that Smash Ultimate Summit happened, which was like such an incredible event just in general.
Yeah, the very first summit for a Smash game, not Melee, and the very first, I think, summit at all in their new studio.
Yeah, in their new studio. So let's get that out of the way. How do you feel about their new studio?
I like the house better.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty common opinion to have, right?
Yeah.
Because it feels like the hominess, like it feels sort of sterile almost. I think if we had never...
That's definitely the word for it. It's definitely sterile.
If we had never experienced the house, we wouldn't care about this, right? That's the
it would
sort
still
of
be like the best of it.
Yeah. If it started with this, we would be like, oh my God, this is the greatest production of all time.
Yeah.
Look at this couch, look at everything. But even just in like the color grading of everything,
I know.
it's blue, it's very like...
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get used to it. Like you said, if we'd never seen the house, it would be sick. But logistically, I'm sure it's so much easiar for them because
God, yeah.
Like they can wire the place more easily. They have a separate room for the players where they have to walk to instead of like it's kind of hard to figure that out in a house unless you put it upstairs, but like that's where everyone's playing.
Yeah.
Like friendlies and stuff. So like it makes sense. Rent's probably better than having a house in like a, you know, like a really nice LA house. So that stuff makes sense. But you can tell that they're kind of trying to hold on a little bit to the house aesthetic in the way they literally designed the Mafia room.
Yeah. I think exactly.
Right?
I think also it's like this was their first time out, right? It was the first foray. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing because they're obviously going to learn from what they did.
For sure, yeah.
And iterate on it. And Summit are masters of that.
They definitely are. And for being their first time in a studio like this, it seemed to go off with no hitches.
Yeah. So guys, just get some. Just change the lighting to be a bit more sunny, and we'll be good.
Yeah. Also like. Get some carpet in that Mafia room because for some reason the hardwood just made me feel hollow, I guess.
We can get to Mafia later. I have a feeling we should hold off on that so we don't overload our listeners with, I'm sure, the much Mafia ranting that both of us have to do. But yeah, I mean, aside from that, I think actually though that at least for this event, that cooler feel at least fit with the event since it was like a blue, turquoisey, cyan aesthetic anyways, and it was all like ultimate, like those are my machine noises that fit with the graphic design that they were going with for everything. So
very, very contemporary, very new age.
Yeah, that's a very, very small ping against the tournament. What did you think about the commentators, the way commentary worked out?
I think they're still trying to find their stride. Like, I think it's definitely cool, not just on the couch, but in general, just seeing, like, all these faces and voices that we're used to seeing in isolation kind of clash together. Like, we all knew that was going to happen, but it took a little more getting used to than I thought it was going to at first. Especially once you have the players step in to, like, have their say, because sometimes it was awkward, but other times it was really funny. So I don't know, I liked it overall. I think it'll get better over time.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think that I was overall pretty happy with it. You know, I was like, oh wow, Vish and Chillin are gonna be in here. Not that they don't know anything about Ultimate, but it's like, wow,
well, Vish is Mr. Nintendo, man.
Right, exactly. But them, I think that having them there fit with the theme of the weekend, which was like them doubling down on the Melee Ultimate crossover and like having Melee Ultimate crew battles and all the players talking about how they got to know each other more.
Right.
I think was like, or Melee Smash 4 more than Melee Ultimate. But, you know, I think that was a good direction to go with for the event.
Yeah.
Would I have liked to see Coney there? Yes, I would have. But
yes, please, next time.
Yeah, he's
Coney,
literally perfect for Summit.
yeah, he is made for Summit.
Yeah.
I actually wasn't even thinking about that, and you're totally right. He would be amazing for Summit. Um, I do have thoughts on what Summit would look like in the future, but first let's talk a little bit about uh, like just dive deeper into the interactions between the two groups of people. So
Sure.
I have a little bit of firsthand experience,
Right, because you went to point
perspective on
5,
this.
right?
Yeah, so purely by chance, I happened to be in LA that week. And the weekend before, I actually messaged Mango and I was like, yo, if you want to play or hang out or something, like, let me know. And I swear to God, I completely forgot that that week was point 0.5. And he responded, he was like, that's point 0.5. Eyes emoji. And he was like, you should come through. I was like, oh, okay. I guess I'll go to point 0.5. And it was actually really cool. Like, uh, obviously, I already know a couple of the guys who were there. Like, Mr. R stopped by. He wasn't at Summit, but he was there, and I know him.
Right.
I know Zero. ZD, I know from Smash 4 in MDVA because he's a very new school type player. But there were a lot of new people who I'd never seen interact with Melee players before, and it was interesting. So the one that comes to mind is Light.
Yeah, of course it was Light.
Yeah, because he's just like this young guy with all this energy, and just shows up, and he kept calling Mango Dad.
Mm-hmm.
And Mango like cut him off after 2 Red Bulls both days. And like I don't know, it's just interesting to watch. Because like there's clearly like a kind of an age gap between the Melee players and the Smash Ultimate players.
Right.
I don't know. It's intriguing. I don't really know what my thoughts are, except that it was kind of cool to see throughout the week.
Light's an interesting guy for sure. I don't think I talked about this on the podcast before, but I know I had talked about it with someone recently. So when
you and I talked about this.
We
with
talked
your
about it personally.
right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But not on the podcast, just personally. So when we interviewed Light at Genesis, Light. So after his interview, we were trying to get him going faster because we had been annoying players by taking so long and stuff. So that's just how it was. We were doing him as fast as we could and battling tech issues. But so we got Light, and he was very fast and very efficient and gave us good answers. If you guys remember, I think probably the best teaser from all of those was ESAM versus Light, which was really, really good because of both of them. And after he was done, we said to Light, like, oh, dude, that was a great interview. Good job. And they went, oh, yeah, why? I mean, was I just the best? I just give the best answers? And we're like, no, I mean, like, you were good. It's just like, you seemed comfortable. You seemed in it. He was like, yeah, it's just like I've done some media stuff before. I used to work for this charity, and I used to do media stuff. So I think he's very aware of how he comes off, and he's even aware maybe that he like has a really high key energy that can be a lot to handle. So I'm fine with that because I think he knew what he was giving people, and people, and he was definitely entertaining. So
yeah, that's just his personality, and like that's him all the time as far as I can see, in and out of game. Like he's going at it, like he's taunting, when he's behind, when he's ahead, like he's just high energy.
Yeah, I think it's very genuine. Like he definitely plays it up a bit because he likes being that guy, but it's not like he's forcing it at all.
Yeah, and one of the few early high tier team pickups.
Yes.
He's now on Rogue.
Yes, exactly. Rogue, who are just up and up because they got the LEC franchising. Talked to them a little bit, actually. Talked to Kevin Nocky, who is one of the guys who runs Rogue on Cheddar Esports. And they're a good team, and I think very fitting for Light as well.
Also, just to pause for a second, I'm getting a lot of background noise on your side.
Oh, sorry. I had a bill that I had to open. I should be done now. My girlfriend just came home.
Okay.
But it should be good. I will stop opening bills. I'm not going to edit that out either. That's just how things go sometimes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. But yeah, Light was definitely like, you could see that he was a lot, but there were some moments that were truly, really enjoyable to watch with him at Summit Point 5 when it was like him and Mango just dicking around and having a good time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. I like light.
So gameplay wise,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
All the Smash 4 players were gassing the Melee players up, dude.
yeah, I
At
did see
point
a bit of
five.
that.
They're like, oh my god, these guys are so good. Like they're
Yeah.
gonna do so well. Plup is amazing. Zero is like Armada is amazing, and I mean, well,
Well, yeah, because
that
they sat and they played for like an hour or two, and Armada won the vast majority of them.
and I mean, he ended up winning at
Yeah.
Summit too.
Yeah,
So
he beat him, and Zero got last place. But
yep.
dude, one of the things that stuck out to me at point five was there was a rotation that was me, Zero, Chillin, Vish, and ZD. It was a five. Don't ask me why we did a five-person rotation. Um, but ZD ran the rotation for like a solid 90 minutes.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
And like before he joined the rotation, he was in the corner playing melee. Uh, and then he was like, "Wow, playing melee just makes me feel like I'm moving so much better." And we just had this moment where we were like, "You just jumped in on a rotation with me, Chillin, Vish, and Zero, and said that melee made you play better in Ultimate, and that's why he spanked us for 90 straight minutes."
That's incredible. Does he play Fox or Luigi in Melee?
He plays Fox and Falco.
Interesting.
He's
Okay.
a spacey boy through and through,
Okay. Except
I don't know why he
in
played
Smash 4, he's
Luigi in Smash
Luigi.
4, and his Twitter is ZD Luigi.
Yeah.
It's like every other game he's playing spaceys.
Yeah,
so.
I mean he went triple spaceys
Yeah.
in Squad Strike. I remember that.
I should mention that when he was running this rotation, he was playing all three spaceys. It didn't matter which one he picked; he was winning with all of them.
Yeah.
So he's pretty crazy. I think, honestly, I feel like it was a little bit of inexperience that hurt him at this event. Like he didn't seem to be playing quite up to his peak potential. But sometimes that happens at Summit if you're not used to that type of competing environment, which is probably his first time doing that, as far as I know.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting seeing him like get spanked like that at Summit itself. The bottom four were like two people who I was gonna guess were gonna be bottom four. And then
two people who could have won the event.
ZD and Zero. Yeah, it was crazy. ZD because just the week before that he had beaten Tweak.
Yeah, and he beat Zachary.
Yeah.
And he's beaten Salem and Ally and maybe Nairo. I don't know. He's beaten a lot of good people.
He has.
You know,
he
wins. He's the only person he loses to in MDVA is Wadi, as far as I know.
Yeah. So yeah, I liked seeing him play a little bit of Falco in Squad Strike. That made me happy.
Yeah.
Falco is super sick in this game. Still.
Falco is super sick in this game.
All right, but speaking of, we've talked about Zero going 0-2 in bracket a few times. How did you feel about that in general?
I mean, the discipline that Zero demonstrated during his reign in Smash 4 and during his grind in Melee is clearly not here right now.
Yeah, discipline's the big thing, right?
Yeah, it's not there. Like he's not playing every day to become the number one player like he was doing in the other games. I have no doubt that if he were, he would not have gotten last in any universe, you know?
Yeah.
That's not to say he's not good as he is. I mean, you know, we say getting last, but it's still Summit.
Right. And there were some moments he had that were truly, truly terrifying and impressive, some zero to death moments. Yeah, I felt similar. I was not optimistic on Zero's chances coming into this event. In general. Especially because he doesn't have a main yet.
Yep.
And the mains that he's been fooling around with are all of the everyman mains. Like they're all of the
Lucina,
Wolf, and like even Ike, and then like Cloud for a little bit too, who isn't an everyman in this game, but like, you know, he's a very simple. He has a lot of range and good spacing and good speed, like all of those characters we just mentioned. Basically,
that's kind of why I like don't trust my own instincts when I play any of those characters, because it's like, wow, like this character feels really sick. I'm like, everyone says that. Everyone thinks that.
Absolutely the same way. I've been, you know, I will be playing my friend and I'll be like, oh man, he's sort of beating my Pokemon trainer. He's sort of beating my Greninja, or we're going back and forth. Like I'll try out Lucina for a game and I'll just 3-stock him, and I'm like,
Yeah.
this character
Maybe I
is
should be a
just
Lucina main.
this character is just so easy. It's so easy.
It's just like everything works,
Yeah.
With Wolf, everything works, and you have a laser.
Mm-hmm.
The best laser in the game.
Oh my god, Wolf's laser is disgusting, dude.
Yeah. And people still, especially melee players, still aren't quite used to dealing with projectiles because they try and dash in and shield, and you can't do it. You can't do it.
Especially speaking of Wolf, dude, Gluttony's Wolf in Squad Strike.
Oh, I actually didn't see it.
Oh my god, Gluttony's Wolf in Squad Strike just like annihilated. I forget who he was against. Maybe like Samsora or someone, but he just took out like, I think he might have taken out Samsora's Peach and Daisy with Wolf maybe?
Dang.
Or something. I don't know. That could be wrong, but his Wolf was disgusting. It was so good.
Dude, he got third.
Yep.
He got third in singles.
After watching Squad Strike and other stuff, I was like, Gluttony's going to do so well.
He's crazy.
I could tell. He's really, really good. I'm happy he had an actual breakout. I'm sure Leffen's really happy too that his
for
Penguins.
Sure. This is what, like, first or second time that a European player got into Summit, something like that. Did Ice ever? I think we've talked about this before. Did he get voted in or did he qualify?
Ice got voted in one time.
Okay, so that might have been the only other time where a European player got voted in, right? If not, it's one of the very, very few.
Yeah.
That's the point.
I feel like I'm remembering one other time, but I might be wrong.
Triff might have been Ice another time. Triff
never got in.
Yeah. Maybe this time.
I know Ice got in. I think Smash Summit 2 is the one he got into.
Yeah, it was one of the really early ones, yeah.
Yeah, anyways.
Yeah, in any case. Zachary, I got to meet him at Mango's house. He's very polite. Nice kid.
Zachary was, oh my god, I loved how excited everyone was for Zachary to be there.
Yeah,
in general.
He's so great.
Yeah.
What was it Leffen said? He was like, when the melee players are playing well, you say they're schmoovin', and when Zachary's playing well, he's schwading.
That was so funny. Yeah. All right, so we've moved on from the 13th placers. Let's talk about the 9th placers. Let's talk about Armada and Leffen, our two melee boys who managed to win sets.
And Mewtwo King, he beat Mango.
Oh, and Mewtwo King, yes, and Mewtwo King, who managed to beat Mango.
I can confirm that Mewtwo King is not fun to play against in any Smash game. So yeah, I've played him in all the other ones, and I had not yet played him in Ultimate. Now I have. I can confirm. He's not fun to fight in any game.
Which characters of his did you play against mostly? Against the Bowser? Or?
Mostly against his Incineroar.
Oh, God.
Yeah, not fun to play. So he got the warm-up against my Wario before he played Mango. Sorry, Mango. I don't think I played his other characters. Maybe his Lucina too, but mostly his Incineroar.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, anyways.
Yeah, I mean,
he needs to figure out what character he wants to play.
So if you were gonna rank the melee players in Ultimate right now, so Mango would be last, obviously.
Yeah.
And then Plup.
Unfortunately. So I would put Armada and Leffen in the same category, then Mewtwo King and Plup in the same category, and then Mango probably, something like that.
Would you put Leffen or Armada, one of them, definitively higher?
I wish I got to play Leffen more at Mango's place. Of all the people I played at 0.5, Armada was one of the hardest. I felt like of all the people I played, Armada and ZD were the hardest. But I didn't play everyone.
That's so funny.
I didn't play everyone, so it's hard to say.
Huh.
I only got to play a few games with Leffen, and he was playing Roy, and now he doesn't know what character he's going to play, or if he's even going to keep playing Ultimate.
Or he's quitting Ultimate.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
I can't keep up with that saga.
I feel like Leffen probably has like. I think that Leffen started out as a better player in a lot of ways, and Armada's consistent grinding of Inkling and Armada work. Like Leffen also has an insane work ethic. I don't want to demean that at all, but his like Armada work ethic to just labbing out that one character, and the fact that he hasn't been plagued by character crisis. Because I don't want to blame Leffen's character crisis on Leffen either. Like,
sure.
I think now I might give it to Armada. Like,
yeah.
now that we're a few weeks out from Summit and Leffen's been swapping between a bunch of different characters, and I assume Armada has just been playing Inkling the entire time.
Yeah. Yep. I think I could definitely be persuaded to that conclusion.
Yeah.
I hope Armada keeps playing. He said he was going to give the game a solid few months, like an honest effort, and then decide from there. I haven't heard him come to any decision, but I definitely hope he keeps playing because he's clearly good. You know, he knows how to get good, and he's a really good player. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
it would be sick
for sure. All right, let's leave our Melee boys behind. Other people who placed 9th were Light, who just had a sort of rough tournament.
Yeah.
Summit's really hard, dude. Lose to Samsora for 9th.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's all our Melee boys and then Light. Okay, so moving on into 7th placers. We had Dabuz.
Void and Cosmos.
Dabuz beat Cosmos and Samsora beat Void is what I was trying to say. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Cosmos is really good. I played Cosmos in tournament not 3 days ago.
It's interesting though because so I feel like I assumed so Cosmos was easily a top 10 player at the end of Smash 4's lifetime. With Corrin, who most people were like, she's a high-ish tier. She's good.
Yeah, she was like the second best swordsman, maybe.
Yeah,
after
like
Cloud.
But she was like, I don't know. I think some people thought that maybe Marth was better than her.
Yeah, possibly. Possibly.
You know, just in general, it was like, she's okay. She's pretty good.
Yeah.
And now Inkling, most people agree, is like a top 5 or top 6 character in the game, and one who can be optimized more fully too.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting to see Cosmos sit in about the same place with performing with a character that nominally would do better against would normally do better against the range of characters, you know? I mean, everyone else has really good characters too, so.
I'm not really buying too much into people's opinions on tiers quite yet.
That's a good point.
Just because of how early it is. Like, a lot of people are talking up Wario quite a bit, but honestly, lately I've been more of Tweak's opinion that Wario is not top tier. Or if he is, he's on the lower end of top tier.
Yeah, I think he's a high tier, but you know.
But yeah, like Inkling might be a top 5 character, but it might be one of those scenarios where Inkling's not gonna feel like a top tier character until a year from now, something like that.
That's sort of how I see it. Yeah. I actually
it's kind of like Marth and Melee, honestly, where like every matchup kind of feels very distinct, but once you're there, it's like, wow, Marth really controls all these matchups.
I feel you. Well, since we're just talking about tiers, I know you don't want to talk about it, but I do want to actually ask this because even though it's a meme, I think it's interesting. Where do you think? How good do you think Pokemon Trainer is?
Most of my opinions tend to line up with Leffen's.
Yeah.
Like when he thought that Pokemon Trainer was a top tier, I was also thinking that. And like literally, I mean, you and I talked about this on the podcast like last year where we were talking about what characters we wanted to play.
Yeah.
And Pokemon Trainer was at the top of my list.
Yeah, top of both our lists. It's been lists. My main the whole time, yeah.
Yeah. But now I'm not quite on the train of Pokemon Trainer being top tier. I definitely think Pokemon Trainer is like probably a solid mid tier.
Yeah, that's sort of how I feel too.
Did I say mid or did I say high?
You said mid, but the fact that you can't decide between which I think accurately reflects where we think.
I meant to say high. Like I can definitely see Pokemon Trainer being a high tier because Squirtle is really hard to deal with for a lot of characters.
Yeah, that's true.
And Ivysaur is one of those characters where it's like if you don't have the right tools, you are invalidated.
Yeah, so I think it's funny since it's since Pokemon Trainer has 3 neutrals. Well, really 2 because Charizard's neutral is woof. But But I think actually Pokemon Trainer is a really matchup dependent character because both Squirtle and Ivysaur have neutral games that are very, very oppressive versus certain characters and like so hard to get stuff started versus other characters.
Yeah.
Like Ivysaur especially, I think Ivysaur is, a lot of people agree, the best of all the characters solo. which is sort of a moot point. You know, it's like you have to switch to
Yeah,
Ivysaur.
they're never going to be solo. The characters will never be solo.
Right,
so.
but I think that like Ivysaur has really, really good neutral, obviously, but as a zoner character in terms of how it plays neutral, can also like sometimes it's really linear trying to get a hit with Ivysaur. It's like very predictable what you're gonna try and do and how you're gonna move and stuff. So yeah. But I like Pokemon trainers still. I'm probably still gonna play them just because it speaks to my personality too. So.
One of the hardest characters to play though, for sure.
Yeah, I'm playing all Pokemon right now. Actually, I'm playing Pokemon Trainer. I've been picking up Greninja, and then like I occasionally play Pichu. Although I would need to practice way more with that character to be good.
Greninja's got it all, man.
Greninja's really good. I like finally grinded out learning attack canceling yesterday.
Yep.
So that I could do which is like good for like 1 or 2 scenarios with Greninja, but attack cancel bear out of dash attack is really good. So.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Greninja is one of the best characters to use for dealing with small characters because all his moves sweep the ground.
Yeah, fair. Once you learn how to space fair and how to play with it, it's
that's the hard part.
Really, really, really good because your main tools in neutral as Greninja are fair, nair, and down tilt, which all, like you said, if properly spaced, those all sweep the ground. Nair has a deceptively large hitbox.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Dabuz or Nairo and Zachary.
I didn't see this set actually.
I didn't see these either. Nairo's been kind of consistently up there, and I think Zachary, people would probably say he underperformed. I mean, he beat Dabuz, which is really good. I don't think anyone would have.
You think he underperformed?
Guessed...
I think he performed exactly where I expected him to.
Really?
Yeah.
I think him losing to Gluttony was a little surprising.
But he got like almost exactly the same placement at Genesis.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, I think he's a really, really good player. He's probably the best wolf in the world.
Yeah, for sure.
And he's probably like top 7 or 8 in the world. Like, he's good. He's really good. But he's, I think at this point we can safely say maybe that like Samsora and Dabuz and Leo and maybe Tweak, Tweak are all...
They're the top tier.
Yeah, and Void too. Void had a really hard bracket in general.
Yeah. Both his losses were game 5 to Nairo
and Samsora, who I think are top 5 in this game. So.
Yeah.
But Nairo, again Nairo had an interesting tournament.
Yeah.
Because pools for Nairo, so he lost to Zachary in pools. Mm-hmm. But he beat Leo in pools. Leo, of course, going between different characters, and then he 3-0'd Gluttony in pools. And Nairo just always gets a few good wins, and then when it comes to the last thing in bracket, he just can't close it out.
Doesn't win the tournament.
We saw it with Collision too.
Oh boy, did you see his Ganon at Collision?
I saw his Ganon at Collision for sure.
Oh my goodness, that F smash, where did that come from?
Dude, that was insane.
He just F smashed the other way and pulled Fox off stage and then killed him.
Yeah. Okay, we're running out. We're running out of time. So the last storylines I want to focus on are Samsora is just so good. Samsora is amazing.
He's great.
He got 3rd at Genesis, right? And they're 4th at Genesis. 3rd, 4th.
I thought it was 4th.
Who got 3rd?
I don't remember though.
No, I think it was 3rd. He lost to Leo in losers finals after beating him. I don't remember. Anyways, Samsora is like amazing at this game, but oh my god, Dabuz, dude! He got 3rd. I was watching. He got 3rd at Genesis.
Yeah.
Okay. I was watching.
Void got 2nd.
Yeah, I knew Void got 2nd. I was watching Dabuz run through losers, and I was like, holy shit! Summit is perfect for Dabuz. He's literally the best Summit player because he learns and adapts so much every single game. And he would just annihilated Cosmos and Nairo. And then against Samsora brought out the fucking Rosalina.
Dude, that That was a nutty pick.
Yeah, and it was hype to watch. It was actually hype for once.
Yeah, I also don't think like he was even underplaying how good Rosa is. I feel like Rosa's not that bad. I mean, like she's tall, which sucks, but her nair is really good.
Yeah.
Rosa's a project or Luma is disjointed. She can still juggle really well. She can edge guard really well. She's an anti-zoning character. I don't know. She's not missing a whole lot.
I think she struggles pretty hard against swords is the consensus, right?
Yeah, I guess I can see that.
Swords and smalls probably too.
Yeah, and Luma is nerfed a little bit.
I think Luma's pretty significantly nerfed actually.
But wait till people master the attack cancel infinite.
That stuff's insane. Okay, but listen, so I was watching DeBuzz go through the tournament and I was like, this is crazy. He's powering up with every set. What a loser's run. Just 3-0s everyone except for Samsora. And then he gets to Leo. And it's just like, so here's the question we'll end on. Is Leo the best player in the world?
Yeah.
Right? I don't think there's any justification for saying it's Tweak anymore.
Nah, not right now.
Yeah.
Tweak, Leo's gotten like top 3 at every single event, and Tweak has a couple stains on his record.
Yeah.
Last thing I want to talk about is what the next Ultimate Summit would look like.
Yes, let's do that. Yeah, so Leo's #1 in the world. Tweak's still in top 5 contention because he's
Tweak.
There's
no way Tweak's not getting invited. Yeah.
He just needs motivation and to solve his character crisis too. Right now I'm feeling like anyone who's playing Wolf is in trouble if they're not Zachary, basically.
That's how I or Wizzy.
Or Wizzy, yeah, because it's like that's a stopgap character while you figure out what you actually want to do.
I agree. I definitely agree.
Yeah.
I don't think any of these melee players will be reinvited back automatically.
No.
I think that's pretty much clear to everyone. I think we may get some melee commentators back.
I can see Vish going for sure. Chillin', I love you, dude, but oh my god, you needed to stop saying Dagma like
Dagma.
Oh my god.
The heck?
It's so awful.
I've been saying it too. It's pretty bad.
Oh god. Chillin' and Vish also, we'll say this because we don't have time to talk about it extensively. Chillin' and Vish also, the true villains of that Mafia game everyone blamed Vicky for. Chillin' and Vish really, oh my god, they fucked everything up by being having as much hatred towards each other.
Yeah, all the Mafia was kind of...
That game was absurd. I was dying laughing.
We might need to just do an entirely other C-stick for just Mafia.
Yeah, we might have to. Okay, but okay. So next summit. So Leo and Tweak are locks.
DeBuzz for sure.
DeBuzz for sure. How many people get invited?
Well, it depends. Like 8 probably.
Probably
they'll probably
8.
do 7 or 8.
Yeah.
This time they did 6? They'll probably do like 8 and probably have 2 or 3 qualifiers and then 5 or so.
Right. So we're assuming that the 8 there are going to be invited would be Leo, Tweak, DeBuzz, Samsora, Void,
Nairo. Do you think they'd invite Zero back? I am curious about that.
It depends.
Yeah, it does depend
on what he does in the next. Right now, if they had another summit, I don't think they would. They might invite him as a commentator and have him play in side events. Light probably will be in the top 8 there. Yeah, I would assume so. And then it's a toss-up between like Zachary, Gluttony.
Zachary over Gluttony.
Well, it depends. It depends.
Yeah, if Gluttony keeps performing at the level he did at Summit, then I could definitely see him being in. But if I were to pick right now, that would be my 8.
Okay. Oh, what about Cosmos?
I think I said Cosmos, didn't I? Or did we not? It is hard.
Yeah, we didn't.
I don't know.
Oh, wait, did we include Cosmos? Maybe we did.
Okay, well, in any case, the next summit, which we're assuming is going to happen, I mean...
Right, because it's the top 8 of this summit, but with Tweak replacing one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, which means we did say Cosmos, I think, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, a lot's
Oh, no, we didn't, because we said Light. Yeah, so you have to choose between Cosmos, Light, Gluttony, and Zachary, basically.
Yeah.
For 2 slots.
Well, from now till the next summit, there is Full Bloom, Pound, Gommel, Smash and Splash, CEO, Evo, SmashCon, Shine, question mark, Big House.
Yeah, there's a
Main
lot.
stage. Main stage is the next big summit tournament. There is quite a bit. So
I think one thing that we could see also is someone who could sneak their way into those invitees, and if they don't, they're definitely going to get voted in, is ESAM. Like, ESAM's a lock for the next summit, in my opinion.
Think so?
Yeah, 100%.
You're more confident than I am.
I think ESAM's really good.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that his performance at Nimbus was like an actual level up from him.
Mm-hmm.
Because he played so like he should have won that tournament. Oh my god,
yeah.
What a choker, dude.
Yeah, no kidding.
What a choker. And while ESAM went out really early in this round, he was splitting with a lot of other top players, and those players, people are not gonna like be as eager to get voted in. Also, he was competing against Melee players. Also, he was splitting with Cosmos and Plup for the PG vote. I think,
you know what?
And he's like one of the biggest content creators out of anyone. So I think he's a lock. That's my guaranteed that person will get into Summit who wasn't there this time. Him and Tweak.
On that note, he is one of the highest seeds for Smash Ultimate at Full Bloom this weekend. Mm-hmm. So on our full episode next week when we talk about Full Bloom, maybe we'll have some more to say about ESAM.
Yeah. All right, guys, that does it for this C-Stick. Let us know what you liked. Let us know what you didn't like. Let us know other topics. We really liked the Smash Survivor one.
We've got a lot of good suggestions for topics.
Smash Survivor will happen when we have something like less newsworthy to go over.
Yeah, and there's something about shoes or feet. We'll do that one too.
We'll see. Bye, guys.